Colombia and South Africa, take center stage, please. One of you is about to become our new Miss Universe. If for any reason the winner is unable to fulfill her duties, the first runner-up will take her place. Good luck to you both. The new Miss Universe is South Africa. Take your first walk as Miss Universe.
Congratulations. Give it up one more time.
Thank you. I get teary-eyed every time I see that, and I think it's going to stay that way the whole year.
Oh my gosh, what was going through your mind when you heard that for the first time?
I don't know how to explain it. You know, I really wanted to be Miss Universe ever since I was this little. And to have a dream come true since you were a child, it's indescribable. It's something you have to experience and feel for yourself.
Is it still sinking in for you?
I think so. I moved to New York literally Monday morning, 4 o'clock on the flight, and hit the ground running. So I haven't really had time to just sit down and breathe it all in and just actually realize what is happening.
I saw you Instagrammed some of your bags. They arrived.
Yes.
Did you pack ahead of time in case?
I didn't, because I packed just enough for Las Vegas for the competition, evening gowns and all of that. So I moved to New York with 4 suitcases. If you don't say that is adventurous, I don't know what is. And it's my first time in New York as well. So no, I didn't, but hopefully I'll be going home soon and go and get some of my other things. But they're really taking good care of me over here.
Oh, that's great. What are some of the must-have things that you would like to have in New York?
Like clothing-wise?
Yeah, or just anything that from home that you miss.
Well, I've got a really great pair of slippers that I miss that are super warm, like wool ones. I'll get those. I will grab a few hoodies and scarves and my black leather gloves.
Nice. Well, take me back to the competition. Aside from the crowning moment, what was another aspect of the evening that really stood out to you?
I think after the crowning, when all the girls ran forward and came and congratulated me, to me, that was just exactly what Miss Universe is all about. Although we were competing, they were so happy for me, and they had tears of joy, and they were as happy for me as I was for myself winning. And that is just wonderful, because it shows you that women that compete in this competition are strong, confident in who they are, and they are not afraid to build somebody else up.
I'm sure you got really close with them throughout this process, right? How was that aspect?
I mean, it's 91 girls, so in a period of 2 weeks, so I didn't really get to know everybody, but I got close with quite a few of the girls, and I hope to visit their countries soon. So I've definitely made a whole lot of new friends.
How do you prepare for something like this?
Actually, a lot of preparation goes into it, but the most important thing for me was to be headstrong and to know what I want out of this competition and what message it is that I want to portray, how I want to be perceived. So that is probably the things that I worked the hardest on.
The message that you are conveying, the platform in which you're talking a lot about, involves women and empowerment, and it stems from a very personal story.
It does.
Can you take us back to earlier? I think it was earlier this year about where you were hijacked and held at gunpoint.
It was actually 7th of June, so don't think I'll ever forget that day. I was on my way to an event. It was broad daylight, and I was carjacked and held at gunpoint by three men and nearly kidnapped. They tried, when I got out of the car and surrendered, they tried shoving me back into the car, and that is when I decided no. The second destination will most probably not get better than the first. So I made a decision there, and I did a course earlier before that happened that taught me how to think and keep a clear mind in a situation like that. And the one thing they taught me was that if you're in a life-threatening situation like I was, the throat is a very sensitive place that you can hit, and that is actually something that will completely put somebody off. So I made a decision, I punched the guy in the throat as hard as I could, and it gave me a window of opportunity to run away. It's a little bit funny, I know, but I did it with these little arms.
Wow,
so.
That's incredible. I mean, it must have been so scary.
It really was. I mean, to have 3 guns pointing to your head for something you didn't do wrong, you were just driving on your way to an event, it really was very scary. And I mean, I felt the effects of that for months afterwards. So that is when I started my campaign. So my phone got stolen in the whole carjacking, and when I got a new phone and I logged onto my Instagram account, I got over 2,000 messages from South African women asking, Demi, what course is it that you did? Because people ask me, how did you know to punch him in the throat? And I said I did this course, and that is what they taught me, and it worked. So I collaborated with the organization that I did the course through, and we hosted workshops all over South Africa for women to empower them by giving them the skills and the knowledge that I was taught. So I really hope to use the Miss Universe platform to elevate my cause and to hopefully take my Unbreakable campaign all around the world, because I think violence against women, sexual harassment, rape is such a big thing that women face all over the world.
And here we are, we're in this big moment where sexual harassment allegations are coming out day after day. I mean, you're talking about this, it's such an important part of our time. What do you want to say to women who, whether they face something like you faced or, sexual harassment in the workplace, what advice or what thoughts can you give?
I have never been in a situation like that. And I can just imagine and sympathize. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Sympathize with how they must be feeling. I've heard a lot of women sharing their stories with me that they are too ashamed to stand up and talk about it because they feel that they did something wrong. And in reality, they didn't. A woman should be able to be who and whatever she wants to be, and she should be respected for that nonetheless.
Absolutely. And another thing that's a big deal is for women is the pay gap.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? Because that's a very big issue as well.
I mean, in certain places, women get paid 75% to what men get paid for the same work, the same hours, the same experience, the same qualifications, and I really don't get that. It's wrong. It's not right, and it should be justified. It should be set right. We should have equal rights all over the world, and I think that is exactly what needs to happen.
You're from South Africa. What are some other big issues that you faced growing up or that you faced around you that you want to bring to light about your hometown or your home area?
Well, the town I grew up in South Africa was really small, so it's called Sagefield. And I grew up there, matriculated, and then moved on to study and moved to Johannesburg. The town I grew up in was a little farm town, so that was just everything lovely and beautiful and friendly. So when I moved to Johannesburg and I got carjacked and held at gunpoint, that was like a complete change. So you know what? It's sad that these things happen, but it's not what happens all over the country.
Right, and so you want to just kind of let people know.
I mean, South Africa is a wonderful country, and if you ever visit South Africa, you will be welcomed in the warmest way ever, and you will eat the best food you've eaten your whole life, and you'll see the most beautiful places ever.
What's been the reaction from your family and friends back home?
Oh my goodness, they are so happy and they are so excited. I haven't even had a chance to reply and respond to all the messages I've received, but that is so encouraging, and I really hope that me winning Miss Universe is an inspiration to every little girl and every little boy in South Africa that has a dream of becoming something or someone one day, and that will inspire them to follow their dreams.
What would you say to someone, there's been critics about, pageants in general. What would you say to someone who says, oh, they're irrelevant or, not for this day and age? Because here we are seeing you're talking about so many important issues.
Exactly. I think I think a beauty pageant like Miss Universe is more relevant than it's ever been before. I don't see this as a beauty pageant. I see this as a platform that I got given to make a meaningful difference in the lives of women and men all around the world. And I got this opportunity to be a role model to young girls. To me, this is a very big honor, but it's an even bigger responsibility.
You mentioned role model. Who's been your role model?
Oh, good. I don't have a specific role model. I have a lot of women that I look up to, but I have a half sister that was born without a cerebellum and that left her completely disabled and dependent on survival. So, you know, she will never be able to walk on a Miss Universe stage. She will never be able to play a hockey game like I did, or hold the ice cream and eat it. And she really inspires me to be present and to live in the moment and to just enjoy everything twice as much and work twice as hard so I can do it for her sake as well.
Oh, that's nice. Well, she must be really proud of you.
I'm sure she is.
Yes. So you also graduated with a business management degree. How do you think that helped you get to where you are today, and maybe will help you this year as you use your platform for good?
My degree has helped me in so many ways. It's helped, I get to deal with businessmen, company owners all the time. So my degree really helped me to speak their language and to understand what they are. I mean, I'm a representative for a lot of brands, a lot of organizations. So that in that sense, it really gave me a business perspective behind everything that I'm going to do this year.
So speaking of which, do you know what you're going to do this year?
I have no idea. Yeah. I have right now. I've just moved into my new apartment in New York. Still can't believe it. And I'm so excited. So I know I'll be having quite a few international trips. I can't wait to go home and celebrate with everybody back there in South Africa. But as I mentioned previously, I hope to use my Unbreakable campaign and take that into a whole lot of other countries, and I'll also be an ambassador and spokesperson for a few organizations and initiatives.
That's great. Well, we're glad to have you here in New York. Have you been to New York much, and have you done any sightseeing?
This is my 2.5 day.
Okay, yeah.
So, which of 99% have been interviews. My parents and a few friends have joined me, and they came to see where I'm staying and just experience the city with me, but they're all heading back soon, so I'll probably have a last dinner with them before they go back.
Oh, that sounds really nice. Okay, so I think this was your third competition, was this?
Yes,
right?
Yes.
So what were the previous competitions like?
Well, I did Miss Teen South Africa when I was 14, and then I did Miss South Africa when I was 17. Oh, not 17, like this year.
Okay, yeah.
Long day. And Little Miss Butterfly and Sunshine, those don't really count.
Yeah. So this is something that you've been wanting to do, though, since you were a kid. I mean, where's your family and your friends all supportive? And, you know...
They've really been so supportive. And I think what they all realized was this isn't just a beauty pageant. It's not just about a pretty face, a pretty ball gown, pretty makeup. It's about so much more than that. And me being a little entrepreneur ever since I was this big is one of the main reasons why I wanted to be Miss Universe and not anything else, because I think Miss Universe have helped establish so many women's platforms and careers, which is just remarkable.
Yeah, and I know it's hard to imagine where it's going to take you. This is just, we're so excited to be talking to you at the very beginning of like this really new chapter. Take me back to that evening. We talked about like one of the best moments of the night.
Yes.
But what were some of the most daunting or scary moments of the evening?
Of the evening, well, this stage was really slippery, so I think they polished it. So when I put my shoes on, I got on the stage for the first time, I was like, whoa, girl, you couldn't pull out all your skills, yeah. But that went well. And I think just so many expectations and so many people watching you, and it was quite scary to see like how your life changed in literally seconds. Before I got back to my room, I had probably tripled my following on social media, which was crazy. So it's scary to see how fast things elevate.
Yeah. Back to your platform and what you believe in about, women empowerment. I know you recently started getting involved with that organization. Did you meet women who had stories to tell, and what kind of feedback did they give you that maybe had a similar experience as you had?
Well, hosting those workshops, I've heard horrible stories that were way worse than mine. Wow. And it just made you realize that, you know, and I heard stories that might not have been that you know, great, might have been something smaller, but I just realized that everybody has something that they go through, and we all have a story. And if we as women stand together and take hands and say, hey, I'm here for you, I know of somebody that can help you and help you get through this, that is what makes us unbreakable.
I love that. I mean, that's such a great message to actually end this on. I would love to wrap this up now, but before I do, I would love to get some feedback from the crowd here.
Sure.
And some questions out here. Let's get it started.
Hi, Demi-Leigh.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
much. First of all, today is my birthday, so being here in front of you is such a cool birthday gift for myself.
We must take a selfie later.
Yes, please. That'll be awesome. Just 2 questions. First one is, you know, you talked about your program Unbreakable during the pageant, and I think it's just an amazing program. And I was just looking at statistics earlier, and there's like 17,000 carjacking in South Africa last year. So how do you plan to implement and promote your program during your reign as Miss Universe? And my second question is, you're the first Miss South Africa to win Miss Universe since Margaret Gardner in 1978. Have you spoken to her before or after the pageant, and what have you, you know, what has she told you about it?
Sure. First of all, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I'm not going to sing for you because I'm terrible.
Thanks.
But if I could, I would have. The program, so I hope to follow the same process I did in South Africa. To me, I am not the expert, and it is very important that I work with professionals, people that are specialists in their field. That is what I did back in South Africa. Hopefully, I can work with the same organization and take the workshops that I hosted, you know, or hopefully we can start in New York. So that might be a good start. I haven't set out a proper plan yet. I still need to meet with the Miss Universe organization and do planning, but that is possibly what I would do. And the second question was Margaret Gardner. I haven't spoken to her personally, but she has reached out to me on social media. So I really hope I get to meet her this year. It would be so great. I mean, she was a hero in our country, and to follow in her footsteps is such a big honor.
Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for that question. Who's next?
Hi. So first off, congrats on becoming Miss Universe. So I was wondering, in that moment when Steve Harvey announced that you won, was there ever a moment you thought, "Are you sure it's me? It's not. He didn't get the envelope mixed up again?"
Well, you know, it's actually funny because I was standing in the top 2 with Miss Columbia, so I was like, Steve, you better get this one right. But no, I think I was so relieved and so happy in that moment. You don't want to doubt that at all.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Who's next?
Hi.
Hello. I was wondering, what was your preparation like for the pageant?
I'll be honest, I did a lot of preparation because I believe if I do something, I want to do it once and I want to do it properly. And I don't want to ever look back and say, oh, Demi, you could have done better. You should have been more prepared. I just want to give it my best shot. So I did everything from makeup lessons to hairstyling lessons to I trained really hard to be the healthiest version I could be of myself. I did elocution lessons. I did, interview training. So just a whole lot of things. I think it's just important to have, like, just be a balanced package. Pleasure.
All right, we have one last question.
Hi, thank you for being here.
No, thank you.
So what kind of advice did you have for your younger self just getting into pageants? You said you'd been doing them since you were younger. Just wondering.
So, yeah, I've not really been into pageants that much, but I wasn't really into fashion when I was younger, but if I could say something to my younger self, it would be to just relax and that everything will work out like it's supposed to be, and to not take life too seriously, because I was quite hard on myself in high school and I always wanted to be perfect and like have the best position in the hockey team and have the best position in the debating team. So I think I would tell myself to just relax.
Great. I think that's great advice for all of us, Don't take it too seriously
Right?
unless you have to. So,
No.
well, thank you for those great questions. And thank you so much for being here today
Thank you
at
for
Build.
having me.
Congratulations. We can't wait to see what you come up to next. So
Aw,
give her
thank you.
a round of applause, everyone.
Thank you.